Welcome back, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. This video, we're going to cover the GM recall on that 6.2 liter V8 that's in a lot of their SUVs and their pickups. We're going to cover the reason behind the recall, also what their plan is to remedy the issues with the recall, and even more. So please stay tuned. On April 29, 2025, General Motors announced a voluntary recall affecting nearly 600,000 full-size trucks and SUVs in the U.S. The models involved 2021 through 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500, Tahoe Suburban, GMC Sierra 1500, Yukon XL, Cadillac Escalade, and Cadillac Escalade ESV, all with the 6.2 liter engine. And the failure stems from the manufacturing defects in the connecting rods and or crankshaft that can cause engine damage or catastrophic failure. On April 29, 2025, according to Reuters, GM recalling 721,000 vehicles over engine issue. That's more than what GM is claiming. They said nearly 600,000. But anyway, it says the Detroit automaker is recalling the 2021 through 2024 model years mentioned. And it said that the connecting rod and crankshaft engine components may have manufacturing defects that can lead to engine damage or failure. It said that GM identified 12 crashes and 12 injuries in the United States that may be related to the recall issue. And it said dealers will inspect the engine and, if needed, repair or replace it. And vehicles that pass the inspection that need the repair, this is their repair, they'll be provided a higher viscosity oil, which will also require a new oil fill cap and oil filter. That's according to General Motors. And the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration opened an investigation in January into 877,710 GM vehicles over reports of engine failures involving vehicles with the V8 engine. And then subsequently, GM launched an investigation. Said GM previously closed 3 prior investigations into the issues since 2022 based on available safety field information. It identified 28,102 field complaints or incidents in the United States potentially related to the failure of the engine due to the crankshaft, connecting rod, or engine bearing issues, including 14,332 involving allegations of loss of propulsion. So this publication, GMAuthority.com, headline is the GM L87 engine recall, everything you need to know about the oil. So this is their repair of the ones that they determine won't need to be replaced upon inspection. It said that the recall addressing the manufacturing defects impacting the 6.2 liter. And certain engines should now use OW40 oil rather than OW20. And it says that's led owners to wonder whether they should follow the OW40 recommendation, even if their L87 engine is outside of the recall window from 2021 to 2024 year or model years. So it said these viscosity, we're going to see how the viscosity ratings work and why GM's using a thicker oil in these engines. So it says, for starters, whether a recalled truck or SUV with the L87 gets OW40 oil depends on whether it needs to be replaced. If it's determined that the engine needs to be replaced after failing an inspection, the new engine uses the OW20 oil recommendation. It's because the newer engines are going to have the proper connecting rods, bearings, and crankshafts. If it passes inspection and isn't replaced, then it uses the OW40 oil with the Dexos R certification, which is normally intended for the performance cars like the C8 Corvette and Z06 the C8 Corvette Z06 and other supercars, really high power engines. And the difference between the oils is the lower number means a lower viscosity. That means the oil is thinner. The higher number means higher viscosity, which means the oil is a little thicker. So the OW20 is thinner than the OW40. So it says GM's goal using the thicker oil in the engine is an effort to increase the Hersey number so that the engine spends more time in the hydrodynamic lubrication phase of the Strybeck curve. A deeper dive into those engineering concepts can be found in the GMauthority.com article here. They have it cited there. So to put it simply, the thicker oil should optimize the engine's lubrication and prevent catastrophic failure. Okay, however, the thicker oil can create a small but measurable decrease in fuel efficiency because of the increased internal friction. And yes, that puts more resistance on the engine. And that's why modern vehicles nowadays use the OW20 oil. That's why it was developed, is it still lubricates really well, but it reduces the resistance on the engine, which return makes the engine run a little more freely, and you'll get better fuel economy out of the deal. So that's the bottom line, is the efficiency of the engine. That's why that was developed, and that's why it's used in modern vehicles today. And it said that they could notice a small fuel economy hit, and then a recent filed lawsuit against GM claims that owners will be buying hundreds more gallons of gas than they normally would because of the recall. And if I remember correctly, when I was reading about the OW40 engine oil, it's quite a bit more expensive. Unless GM is going to take on the burden of paying for these oil changes for a certain amount of time, but the OW40 engine oil is more expensive than the OW20, so your service interval is going to go up in price. So that's a hit on the owner too. That's, in my opinion, not fair. Unless GM can get the oil and source it for the same price as the OW20, then that would be okay. But that's an issue that I have with that. So it's not your fault that the engine is failing. So why would you have to increase your cost of maintenance on a vehicle you purchased from them? So that's a whole nother issue. So who knows, there could be some lawsuits filed regarding that. Not only the fuel economy difference. But anyway, that's there's a lot of issues here. And it's also a huge safety issue that your engine having catastrophic failure running down the freeway. I mean, that's definitely the minimum reason for this recall to have happened anyway. So, and then the 2025 model years, according to GM Authority, are not applied to this recall. And it says that last week they reported the GM safety recall. It says the problem with the connecting rod and crankshaft components with the mentioned models said it made us wonder why the 2025 model year isn't included in the recall. So they asked General Motors, and they told them, quote, a series of crankshaft and connecting rod manufacturing improvements implemented on or before June 1st, 2024 addressed the contamination and quality issues. Model year 2025 vehicles were built after these improvements and are not included in the recall. So GM's decision to issue a recall follows a series of lawsuits, investigation, and engine replacements regarding the problems with that 6.2 liter. And if you're wanting to know what the recall number is, it is N252-494-001. So if you're on any websites, that you may be able to punch that number in and get all the specifics on this recall. More than likely, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, you'll be able to use that number on there and get all the information, all of the details about it. So now, according to the Lemon Lawyers, this was published, when was this published? There's no date on that. So it says that GM stopped the sale and recall of those SUVs and trucks. And it says the primary issue around the failures, of course, are the bearings, connecting rods, and the crankshaft. It said that they can degrade prematurely, leading to sudden engine seizure, loss of power, and catastrophic engine damage in severe cases. It said that drivers may experience, complete engine shutdown while driving, huge safety risk. Loud knocking, of course, that's like anytime you're running out of oil or anything like that, you'll hear a tapping or just a knocking noise real fast, and it should increase and decrease the speed of the knocking with your engine RPMs. Oil pressure loss and your check engine light. So watch your oil pressure gauges closely if you own one of these vehicles. And see, it says at the time of the recall, dealerships are required to inspect the engines. Okay, they're covering the same thing. Okay, then here's the part I wanted to get to. Is that how this recall affects owners, the real world problems. So for drivers, the implications of this recall go far beyond simple inconvenience. Some owners are already reporting that even engine replacement are affected by the same underlying defect, and that at least one lawsuit, a 2023 Yukon Denali owner, claims that after a complete engine replacement, the vehicle continues to experience issues related to the same defective bearing design. So it says owners of impacted vehicles could face extended downtime while cars are inspected, repaired, and replaced. Of course, that happens with warranties too. Warranty headaches, disputes over the coverage, diminished resale value, especially for high-end trims like the Denali or the Escalade models, out-of-pocket expenses if problems occur outside the warranty period, and of course the safety risk if the engine fails while driving on highways or busy streets. And this website, the www.lemonfirm.com, has all of your information. It tells you your rights under Lemon Law and warranty protections. You can get all that information too, so that you're equipped with the proper information so that GM should take care of you all. You spent that kind of money on a vehicle. It's their obligation. And I'm skeptical of this oil change, the change in the type of oil. To me, that's just a band-aid to the fix. I don't think that that's a good long-term solution. So, but anyway, I'm covering this, just wanting to get the information out there to you all so that if anyone isn't aware of this, hopefully, if you're watching this video, that you do become aware and get the information needed, find out what needs to be done, and don't let GM try to, short sell you on anything. It's their obligation to make this right because these vehicles are not cheap. And so it's not your fault. You shouldn't have to spend any extra money to make your vehicle right. So that wraps up this video for now, and I appreciate you all watching, and I hope this information helps any of you, and if it does, please share this video. Please hit a like and the notification bell if you like this content, and if there's any developments regarding this recall, I will try to upload another video to keep the information out there for you. So I appreciate all of you all watching, and until next time, we'll see you again.